Today I'm breaking down the absolute legal disaster currently facing Dalton Eatherly, better known as Chud the Builder. And if you thought the situation was bad before, it just got exponentially worse. On June 17, 2026, another judge revoked a separate bond for Chud, which will likely keep him behind bars. So let's get into the latest in the Chud the Builder, the rise and fall of a kick streamer. Welcome to RealQuickMedia. I'm Dr. Q. Please comment, share, like, and subscribe as I grow my channel. Okay, so let's break down the bond ruling from Judge Melissa Blackburn. Now, these are the charges from the Bob's Steak and Chop House. After the staff asked him to stop live streaming, he refused to stop streaming and he refused to pay. So they charged him with theft of services, disorderly conduct, and resisting arrest, all for a tab that was around $400. But there was a strict condition of his release that said he had to stay out of trouble and avoid any new arrest. Well, the May 13th incident violated those conditions, but the judge didn't revoke his bond just because he picked up new charges. She revoked it because of his violent digital footprint, just like the judge in his Joshua Fox case. But during the hearing, Judge Blackburn explicitly stated that her decision to deny his release was based on what I've seen on social media and Mr. Eatherly's behavior. So prosecutors were looking closely at his online activity, including another deeply disturbing video where Chud foreshadowed his own crime, asking, "Can you imagine the headlines if I actually blank a black man?" Even calling it inevitable. So again, this shows that premeditated pattern of violent racist rhetoric that he eventually acted out. Because on the stand, a Montgomery County detective testified that it sounded premeditative, like he's going to unalive somebody, which leads to the evidence that's now working against him in his self-defense claims. So Eatherly has been heavily pushing this narrative that he had to act in self-defense against Fox. But the investigators testified that the footage reportedly shows a bullet ricocheting off a concrete planter and a shell casing ejecting from Eatherly's firearm before any physical attack from Fox even occurred. But this leads to the $1 million bail. As you may know, after the incident, his supporters rallied and raised nearly $300,000 for him on GiveSendGo, a fundraising platform. But a judge ruled that Eatherly was legally prohibited from using any of his crowdfunded money raised after the May 13th incident to post his bond. And even when other racist speech streamers tried to step in, like Rosen, who offered to put up $100,000 toward his bond, the judge completely shut it down, stating, "I'm not going to let him get into the bonding business." And don't forget, before that, Rosen sent in $10,000 to help Chud get out on bail, which ended his working streamer relationship with Jidion. So because of all of these rulings, Eatherly is essentially broke and unable to utilize his online infamy to buy his way out of jail. And remember the small arsenal detectives found in his home and truck with an airline ticket to Istanbul, Turkey, booked for May 22nd? Well, prosecutors are using all of that to lean into a theory that this was a premeditated stunt to boost his online notoriety and that he planned to flee the country immediately after, because the ticket to Turkey was dated a little over a week after the Fox incident took place. So what's life like for Chud right now? Well, he's currently sitting in the Montgomery County Jail and he's not having the best time. Recently, Chud's social media accounts have been making claims that jail staff placed him in solitary confinement. He's also claiming that vindictive jail administrators confiscated his physical Bible and replaced it with the glitchy electronic tablet that keeps crashing, severely hampering his ability to read scripture. Plus, his home is facing eviction and his truck is needed for his family, but it's still being processed and they can't use it. But all of these complaints are probably the least of his worries right now. With the attempted unaliving charge of Joshua Fox alone, he's facing 15 to 60 years in prison, all from live streaming racist speech, and now the courts are deciding if he turned it into criminal provocation. So now that his Nashville bond is officially revoked for his online posts, it's created a separate legal barrier that's preventing him from walking free. Between the thousands of dollars in frozen funds, the flight risk evidence to Turkey, the new camera footage, and his own digital footprint working against him in all of his bond hearings thus far, it's highly unlikely Chud will see freedom anytime soon. But his next court appearance is in Davidson County and it's scheduled for June 25th. I'll let you know of any updates, but let me know what you think in the comments about the judge freezing his money. Plus, how much do you think this new evidence will affect his defense going forward? This has been RealQuickMedia, and I'm Dr. Q. Thanks for watching.